It's early in the morning and this room is a mess. I can't find no matching socks.
Hi, welcome to episode 18 of Nicolo's World Podcast. Today is Thursday, February the 6th, 2014. All right, I got tongue-tied there, and I'm going to apologize in advance for a few things. Number one, if you have earbuds in, I'm sorry you may hear my dogs barking in the background because we're still currently digging out from the recent storm we had. And number two, if I seem like I'm hazy, if I look hazy or funny in some way, I'm sorry. I actually have some gorgeous natural sunlight coming in today. So I'm sorry about that. Alright. Next, welcome to new viewers. Anybody checking me out for the very first time, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope that you come back again for another week. And returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. Alright, let's just jump right in. I hope you got your favorite beverage. I can't talk today. I actually have chai tea. It is actually kind of chilly here where I am. My living room's kind of chilly, but that's okay. It's sunny out. Alright, first, administrati. Going on in our group right now, if you're not part of the Nicolo's World Podcast group, come on over, join. We actually currently have a knit and crochet along going on. It started January the 25th, and it will end on February the 28th. And the winner will be drawn on the next podcast. Rules are simple and easy enough. You can knit or crochet anything, but it has to be made out of red. Any color red, from screaming red to mute red. I don't care. Any color red, but I will not accept pink. If it's pink, it will not count. So you still have lots of time. Come on and get your knit and crochet items in. You will be eligible for a prize. I will random number generate a prize winner for that prize. As I said, it closes February 28th. So the next podcast, I will draw a winner for the prize. And the prize is coming out of my own personal yarn stash. It is a ball of Siri silk yarn from Darn Good Yarn. It's out of my own stash. It's a 100-gram ball. And I'll show you guys what you look like. I have it kept in here. As I said, I have dogs. So in case anybody's allergic, this is what it looks like. Very gorgeous. Hopefully when I can do some editing and maybe it'll look better. It won't look as hazy. You can mix other yarn with it to knit and crochet. It's gorgeous. I hope that whoever the lucky winner is will show me what they made out of this. As I said, again, this is from my own stash, Darn Good Yarn, and it's in her classic colorway. And also, go check out darngoodyarn.com. I happen to love that site. This is recycled reclaim sari silk. And it is in, as I said, it was made in India and Nepal. I love this yarn. As I said, I'm keeping it in a little Ziploc bag in case you're allergic to dogs. As far as the cowl goes, I don't care if you dip into other groups as long as it's in their guidelines that you can dip as many times. As long as I don't care, as I said, you can dip in other podcasters' contests as long as it's okay in their rules that you can do that. Alright. Now, I'm also going to mention, sorry if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my show notes. I'm also going to mention, if you're new to the podcast and you're watching me on iTunes And you're wondering maybe why you only see episodes 15 through 17. The reason is the site that I use to host my podcast. I'm currently using a free version and you only get so much storage. So I have to delete older episodes. I keep maybe the first 3 to 4. So if you'd like to check out my older episodes, please feel free to go to my YouTube channel, which I will have down here. And if you missed it down here, it is under Nikki18229. And you can also go to our blog, Nickel O's World and Thoughts, and all the old episodes 1 through 18 will be on there. And the blog is Nickelos, NICKELOS.blogspot.com. You can also check me out there. And I also have a February finished objects board open. So if you got any finished objects, show it off there. And also, I want to wish a wonderful happy birthday to anybody born in the month of February. I hope you have a great and wonderful birthday. Or if you already had your birthday in February, I hope you had a great and wonderful birthday. Alright. Finished objects. Oh, I like my hair. Anyways, finished objects. I have one. You guys remember a few podcasts ago, if you're new, I was working on a scarf using some darn good yarn. It is called Recycled Crafting Easy Quick Knit Scarf. I only used 1 ball of my darn good yarn. Next time I make the scarf, to add a dramatic effect, I'm going to make 2. But I will show you what it looks like. Here it is. Hang on. Sorry if you motion sick here, but here's what it looks like. I think it looks nice. Yay! I know you can kind of see my living room. Don't look there. That's all my crafting knitting stuff. Alright. Motion sick again. If you're a motion sick person, I'm sorry. I actually sit on an ottoman in here to record the podcast. So that's what I'm moving. And it's an ottoman that you can store stuff in, and I just took the lid off. Alright, sorry about that if you're motion sick. This, I love it. If you're wondering why it gets chunky and thin, I love the way that comes out because it's not perfect. And ta-da! As I said, I want to make it longer for a dramatic effect. You can wear it this way. I made it more kind of like a fashion scarf. Or if I'm out, I can also wear it like this. You can also actually wear this in your hair too. I can't really show it too well, but you can wear it in your hair as a bandana. Many options. As I said, the next one, I'm definitely going to make another one again. It is gorgeous. Let me see if I can show you up close the color. The colorway is actually called Mixed Berry, which I love. And as I said to you guys, this washes up great. Hopefully, as I said, when I edit this out, you'll be able to see it much, much better. That's what it looks like. As I said, I love this yarn. You can hand wash it or stick it in the washer. But I recommend for the first washing, if you're going to stick it in the washer, to wash it by itself because the colors will run. So, what do you think? I think it looks quite good. Alright. That's all the finished objects I have this week. I actually worked on this while I watched some telly. I worked on this while I watched the second season of Luther, an episode of Inspector Lewis, and there's something else I watched. It was something I caught up on Netflix. So that's when I got this done. It was a quick mindless knit, so there was nothing, no pattern to really, pattern was memorized. Alright. Next, half finished object is my vanilla fish lips kiss socks. And here they are. Here's one. Yay! You guys remember last week I wasn't even near the heel. Let me see if I can take it off. I was nowhere near ready to do the heel. I told you I had to rip it out and I had to do it again. I may have been here. I may have been like right here. I don't remember. I should have marked it. But I did the fish lips kiss. And I must say, for $1, that is the most awesome heel pattern for a sock. I cannot recommend, I completely recommend it. I mean, I highly, highly recommend spending $1 and getting the fish lips kiss heel pattern. It comes, I think, like if you print it out, it's like 16 pages, and it's very informed, the sock therapist, she goes into complete detail on how to do this for toe up, cuff down socks. I myself, like, I only ripped back once, and it wasn't that I didn't understand the pattern. It was my own goofy doing. I wasn't paying attention. But anyhow, here's what it looks like. The heel. I absolutely, positively love it. And I'm not one of those that my heels have to be matchy-matchy because it's a sock. It's going on my foot. As long as one sock isn't longer than the other and they're a match pair, I don't care if they're two different colors, as long as they're a match pair. I mean, when it comes to knitted socks, I like my socks fun. What can I say? But this is what it looks like. Fish lips kiss heel. And I love that part of the heel is blue and part is orange. And this is a self-striping yarn by Red Heart Heart and Soul in the Mellow Stripes colorway. And if you guys remember, I was saying that I was getting laddering. You can see a little bit of the laddering, I think. You can see it. Like, right in there, maybe you can see it. I'm trying to show it. Yeah, like right there, you can see I got a little laddering, but then as I was working, it went away. I know it kind of looks funky, but I forget how many times I had to rip back and redid it because I was getting laddering and I didn't want it. And somehow I got a hole. I don't know how I did it with the yarn, but I have a hole. I'm not concerned because I didn't want to rip back again just to fix that. I mean, the sock pattern itself, I did in my own head. Just a vanilla sock that I created out of my own head that fits my foot perfect. I did the ribbing is a 2x2 knit 2 purl 2 rib, and it is an ankle sock. I don't really like my socks to go too high. I mean, these are socks that I kind of want to wear in the spring yet. So I did ankle socks. Alright, that's my half-finished objects. My works in progress are I have to cast on my other Vanilla Fish Lips Kiss. I have to cast on the other one to that. And quick note, this is the ball that I used to make my first Fish Lips Kiss, my first vanilla Fish Lips Kiss sock. And what I'm gonna do is I have one ball of the Mellow Stripes colorway right here. I'm going to cast it on with this ball. And I'm going to do the Turkish cast on. That's what I did on this one, Turkish cast on. And I must say, I love the Turkish cast on. I found it fun. I found it easy. I love it. And they will be knit on my Carbons 2.25 knitting needles. I love these. I've tried other sizes for socks, but I find that I do better with the 2.25. And it's going to be kept in my I Love America bag. My next project, it didn't get no love this week, was my Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. However, I am using the pattern from his Craftsy class that I took. And his Craftsy class was called Shawscapes. And it features his Boneyard Shawl pattern. I don't want to give too much away, but it is different than the one that's on Ravelry. Alright, and another thing, Valentine's Day is coming up, and it's also my Gram's birthday. And you wonder what that might have to do with knitting. Well, what it has to do with knitting is my grandma loves roses, and if a lot of you know, roses on Valentine's Day are not cheap, and they only last so long, and then you gotta throw them away. Well, my grandma loves roses, and every year I usually buy her a new rose bush, but obviously we're in February, can't really buy a rose bush. So I decided to do the next best thing and knit her a baker's dozen of roses. Now here's the thing. I have 2 patterns for roses. And I asked my dad which one he thought looked best for roses, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet a stem and I'm going to fill it with stuffing and attach it to the rose and make a baker's dozen. As I said, I tried 2 different patterns and I will show you. You guys let me know what you think. Now, I didn't sew them together. They're just set together. Here's the first one. I am using Red Heart Super Saver Red. And here is the second one. They're both crocheted out of the same yarn. As I said, they don't have the stem because I didn't want to put the stem on and then I didn't like the rose. Here they are, side by side. I think they're both pretty, but I don't know. I kind of like this one better than this one. Yes, this one is bigger, but to me, this one kind of looks more rose-like, because once you put the stem, I mean, this one looks nice too, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, they don't take long to crochet up. The patterns are both from Ravelry. The pattern that I'm using for this one actually came from a cake that I made. The Red Heart crochet cake that they had for their anniversary. So, as I said, it kind of looks funky because I don't have them sewed together. But, again, side by side. I'm going with this one on my right over this one on my left. But again, I'd like a viewer's opinion. I mean, my dad said this one looks more rose-like than this one. So, comment, please let me know what you think. Because I'm trying to decide. I mean, to do the rose for this one, I mean, it's not giving anything away. It's a free pattern. So, that's what that one looks like after I refixed it. And that one again. Alright. That's all I have for what I'm working on. So we'll go into a little enhancement. No yarn enhancement. Oh, and I will tell you that the second part of my enhancement's going to lead up to personal chatter. But before we get on to that, we'll go to one of the enhancements I have. No yarn. Sorry. I have books and I have a crafty project I made. As some of you know, I don't own a set of sock blockers. I never got any sock blockers because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like knitting socks, and I didn't want to waste some money on sock blockers, and then I realized I don't like making socks, so I never got them. Well, it turns out I like making socks, I just never got sock blockers. So I saw the thing online on how to make your own set of sock blockers. And it requires a metal hanger. I know. Shocking. So I found a metal hanger in my closet. And I took it apart and I made me a sock blocker. And I will tell you, it was so easy. Took me a couple minutes. Now, granted, it's not as nice as the sock blockers that you can buy. And I'm sure probably don't fit the sock right. But, you know, it works so I can go get a set of sock blockers. And I didn't close it because I wanted to let it open to fit better. So, this is how the sock blocker that I made fits my sock. Please let me know what you think. You like it or not, but it's my own little thing. It works for now until I can go online and buy a set of sock blockers. I mean, also quick, you can kind of see my sock looks good. Alright, my next enhancement is when I went out this past weekend before the snow, I went to Barnes & Noble's and I bought a book. Now, I'm going to say one thing. I tend to keep this podcast not political because political views, I don't push anything here in this podcast and I don't really like to talk about it. But one of the books I got was by Glenn Beck. I'm sure some of you have heard of him. Right there, Glenn Beck. He has a TV. He has the Blaze TV. And he's a #1 selling best author. I know I can never say the word author right. Sometimes I have to say author. But anyways, he has wrote a series of books. And for those of you that know me in real life, know I'm such a history nerd. I am the biggest history geek. I love history. I love finding out what I can about anything about history. Well, he has a book out, and I heard him. It was advertising called Miracles and Massacres. It's Truth and Untold Stories of the Making of America. I read a little bit about this, and I was hooked. And it's history. I love it. It is well worth what I paid for it at Barnes & Noble. I don't know if you can, maybe you can buy it for your Nook. I'm not 100% certain. I am currently 46 pages into this. 46 out of, I think, 300 pages? 290 pages. I'm 46 pages of it. And the first chapter alone, which I learned a lot in it, the little bit of it, called Jout, the Ride That Saved America, Jouett. I learned a lot about just the history of the American Revolution, part of it. Stuff that you may not have fully learned in history class. I was like, oh, I never learned that in history. Wow. Or, wait, I remember being talked about a little bit, but wow. And then the second chapter talks about basically the massacre in Boston after the Constitution was signed, called Shays' Rebellion, a loud and solemn lesson. If anybody remembers that from history, it went into more detail than what you learned in your history class, which I loved it. I was like, wow. Because when it comes to history, sometimes your best history can also be learned from the worst outcomes or from the other side. You know, like I'm reading on chapter 3, Virginia Convention compromising for the Constitution. I so far have been surprised at, because this is talking like post-American Revolution and the signing of the Constitution. I have been really surprised so far on how as a nation, as a country, during the towards the end of the 1700s, going into the 1800s, how divided we were. I mean, history books make it seem short, sweet, and simple. They leave a lot out. But I was really surprised at how divided we were and trying to figure things out. This book has me hooked. As I said, I mean, it's not political in a sense where it's pushing like one thing over the other. It's not that. It's actual historical facts and truths. And I highly recommend this book, especially if you like history or know somebody that likes history. Must read book. The other book I got is by Bill Bryson, One Summer, America, 1927. It basically tells about the year and the summer of 1927. I haven't read it yet. I just happened to see this when I went to get this because these books were next to each other. And I was like, that looks interesting. And it begins in the summer of 1927 with one of the signature events of the 20th century on May 21st, 1927. Charles Lindbergh becoming the first man to cross the Atlantic by plane non-stop. So I'm sure this is going to be packed full of events from the summer of 1927. I will keep everybody posted. It talks about, because I'm looking on the back here, it talks about Calvin Coolidge, Charles Lindbergh, and Babe Ruth. I like the Babe. He was a great baseball player. So, for any history nerds or history buffs, I recommend this book. That is my enhancements. So, I guess I will go into a slice of life. If you're leaving me now, I hope you come back next week. And if you're sticking around, let's get started. As I said, I kind of went into a little mini tutorial about this. I love these two books. What can I say? Also, somebody did mention about my eyeliner that I use, and I did try that trick. Like, I got eczema pads, and after I wash my face, I take the pads and the eyeliner comes off. The other thing is, like, my hair. I know it didn't come out fully right because it didn't want to work right today, but I decided to go with some vintage retro pinup girl hairstyle because I love the whole pinup girl and the whole retro hairstyles because, yes, I love retro and I love vintage and I love pinup girl stuff. What can I say? I'm a mix of East and West, so yay. Other than that, nothing else new. I just thought I'd share that with you. We are at 30 minutes until I'm editing. This is going to be long, so I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed weekend. I hope if you live here on the East Coast that they're calling for snow Sunday. Yes, snow Sunday. I hope it misses us. So, be safe. God bless. Sorry about that. Remember, treat others the way you would like to be treated. Be kind to everybody. Karma does come back around. Until next week. Bye.